Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy at Ninja 80, and today I will be reviewing the S.H. Monster Arts Godzilla 2001 GMK Heat Ray version. And boy, oh boy, do I have some things to say about this. And yeah, it's called a Heat Ray version, despite the fact that, yeah, it doesn't come with a Heat Ray breath effect port. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's like buying a Harley Davidson and the dealership slaps on the label four-wheel drive, despite the bike only having two wheels. That's kind of dumb. But anyway, moving right along, let's get on with this review. And now here we have the S.H. Monster Arts Godzilla 2001 GMK Heat Ray version figure right before us, and all of his giant monsters all out attack glory. As you can see, this is a very fearsome, very mean, very evil looking Godzilla, because technically this is an evil version of Godzilla. This Godzilla ain't your friend. Oh no. Because this Godzilla is gonna eat you for breakfast, and he's not gonna think twice about it. Oh no. Oh no. Because this Godzilla is ready to wreak havoc and on a path of a mass destruction. As you can see, this figure sports very sharply detailed sculpting features. This figure has some really cool, really awesome, very movie accurate paint apps. The dorsal spines are a very bright pearl white and icy blue colorization with metallic wash going all throughout it to give it that supercharged glow for when he's firing off his heat ray, which unfortunately this figure does not come with. And yes, I did buy this brand new out of the box, although I don't have the box anymore. But anyway, moving right along, getting a closer look. His claws on his hands and on his feet, his toenails and his fingernails are of a bone white weathered gray colorization, looking very sharp and very fearsome, very destructive if you ask me. Getting back to the dorsal spines, as you can see, they are of a coral reef design, and they look really good. Brings out this figure very nicely. You can see the weathered bone white tan colorization in his teeth, looking very sharp and very fearsome as well. I can open the mouth and show you the inside of the mouth, how he has this very vibrant sort of metallic blue and pink glow happening inside his mouth. If I can get that in focus, there we have it. As you can see, now getting a better view, how we have the metallic blue colorization, and we have the pink colorization of his tongue and his gums, the inside of his mouth for when he's firing off his heat ray, despite this figure not coming with one. And getting more in depth with detail, we can see the very deadly, very evil looking, very mean looking, soulless white eyes, since this Godzilla is basically made up of the souls of the dead, or so they say in the Godzilla Giant Monsters All Out Attack movie. As far as articulation, I just demonstrated that the mouth can open and close on a hinge. The neck is on a ball joint, so we can look down, we can look up, we can look right about that much, we can look left until his head comes off. So yeah, like that much. That's the one of the downsides to this figure. The head pops up really easily. I hope when Hiya Toys releases their GMK Godzilla, that is not the case. Um, but this is not the only GMK Godzilla I have in my collection. I do have the NECA version of this figure as well. But anyway, moving right along with some more articulation. The shoulders are on a ball joint, so we can rotate those arms all the way around a full 360 like so. Although they are a bit hindered by the sculpt, so do be careful. We do have a really good bicep swivel here, so we can bring these arms all the way back and then back forward like so. The elbows are double jointed, so we can bring them out about this much, bring them back about that much. Same is true with the other side, like that. The wrists are on ball joint swivels, so we can rotate the wrists all the way around a full 360 like so. And we can rock them forward and back as well for some claw swiping action. We can bend the waist all the way down because this Godzilla does have a really good ab crunch, but if you bend it too much down, he's gonna come apart. But we can always put him back together. As far as the legs, we have some really good ball joints in the hips, so we can bring the legs out about that much, bring them in about that much, although be really careful because the legs are really tight out of the box. I had to loosen mine up really good with some baby oil and some dish soap, but using a hair dryer first, and they still get stiff over time nonetheless. So yeah, but anyway, we can move the legs a full 360 on the hips, but I'm not about to try it with that leg because as you can see, it's very stiff. And I don't want to break this one because these figures cost too much. But anyway, moving right along down to knee articulation. The knees can bend about that much on a double joint and move forward about that much. Same is true with the other side. We can bend back about that much, bend it forward about that much, and we do have some good ball joint articulation on those ankles, so we can really move those feet. And you've just seen them pop apart. Let me put them back together. So as I was saying, we can move those feet about that far down that much and about that much back up. We can rotate them a little bit, but they are hindered by the sculpt a lot. Same is true with the other foot. We can point it down about that much, back up about that much, and we can rotate it a little bit, not much. The tail on this figure is probably the most articulated part of this figure because the tail, we can move the tail about this far this way. We can move it about that far this way. The opposite way, we can put it up like that. We can put it in a small little S-curve like so. And of course, we can kind of give them a J-tail until it pops apart. Let me fix this real quick. Okay. Alright. So yeah, we could put it like that. And we can sort of put them in a sort of semi-swimming pose if we choose to. So there is also that. Now, despite this figure not coming with a heat ray, and due to the fact that it has tight joints, although I can't recommend this figure to everybody, although I still think this is a good figure to have in your collection. But yeah, I think the playability could be a bit better. So with that said, I will be getting into my final verdict starting now. And now for my final verdict on the S.H.MonsterArts GMK Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Godzilla 2001 Heat Ray version here. Despite the fact that this figure doesn't come with a heat ray, despite the labeling and the marketing, which is very misleading. But anyway, if I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give it a drum roll, please. And yeah, this score might be a deal breaker to some people, and I really wish I could give this figure a higher score. But I'm gonna have to give it at least a 3.4 stars. Why? Although I think this is a good, well-detailed figure, and he does have good articulation and posability, although he does tend to pop apart a lot, and as I just demonstrated earlier, some of his joints are a lot more tighter than what they need to be. Yeah, I definitely have to take points off of this figure, especially for those reasons, like I said. I would say this figure would serve better as more of a posable display piece rather than a playable, posable figure. And with that said, that means that this is not one that I take off my shelf and pose around too often because of, you know, the drawbacks with this one. Hopefully the Hiya Toys version of the Godzilla 2001, the GMK Godzilla, does not suffer from these same issues, and best of all, it's going to come with a cheaper price tag, and the question is not if, is when they do a heat ray version. I'm more than sure that one is going to actually come with a heat ray breath effect part for a much lower price than this one did. I did pick this one up when during the lockdown, since we were still in the middle of the pandemic, but I mean that's no longer a thing now. But although I still appreciate having this one in my figure, he's not amongst my top favorites. I really wish I could say different, because I really do enjoy the GMK Giant Monsters All Out Attack 2001 Godzilla movie, but however, the S.H.MonsterArts version of that Godzilla is just, it's not the best, but I still think it's good for what it is. But anyway, guys, if you made it this far into the video, before I wrap things up, I just want to say thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you all so much for your support. Like I said, I promise I am getting content back on this channel as much as possible. May not be as quick as possible because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much content at once, because I kind of felt like I was doing that. But I really do want to, you know, get these figure reviews back out there. So anyway, guys, with that said, love you all. Hope you had a really awesome, great, wonderful day, night, weekend, whenever it is you're watching this. And as always, stay safe, take care, God bless, and peace out.